Well, it's the conundrum of every runner when marathon season is over. It starts getting warmer, PBs are getting fewer and further in between. What is a mediocre runner who's getting 30th at park runs gotta do about it? I've got to find something pretty niche to keep it fresh. My wife likes to make fun of my hobbies. And she says, "What's next? Are you gonna start a Magic the Gathering card collection?" And I said, "Of course not. My hobbies are always extremely cool." It's when I came across joggling. Jogging while juggling. So I thought I can give that a go. So joggling's been around since the 80s, but certainly still pretty rare, at least around here. I can say I run 10 to 12 hours a week around London, and I've never seen someone doing it. So I should at least be able to be the best joggler I know. My goal, a 5K joggling in under 30 minutes. So let's see how that goes. So I have a bit of a head start in terms of juggling because in my 20s, early 20s, I was on a family holiday and it was a rainy day in Florida, and my cousin and I decided to sit down and learn how to juggle. So we had a few tennis balls, but this is basically the way we learned that day, and it's probably the best way for you to learn as well. So the first step is find 3 balls. Hopefully they don't necessarily have to be juggling balls. We learned with tennis balls, but anything that are feel pretty comfortable in your hand. Hopefully they're not too bouncy, and they're also uniform in size. So from there, your first step to learning how to juggle is going to be throwing. It is often thought that maybe you just move straight into juggling. No, the ability to throw and throw consistently is by far the most important part of juggling. And you'll find out over time, as you move on to more balls, it becomes even more important, because if you're throwing 4 balls, 5 balls, whatever, and you're not throwing them consistently to the same height and same place, it's going to go out of control super, super quickly. You can kind of recover from 3, but beyond that, it becomes really hard. So you should be throwing it up and down over and over again. And I would say be able to do it with both your dominant and non-dominant hands at least 20, 30 times in a row, and each time should be coming to maybe about here. So as you're trying to do that, you can throw it a little bit higher if you'd like, a little bit lower, and each time it should be coming down to about the same spot, and you want to catch it kind of right here in your hand so that it's not too deep in your palm, but it's also not at the tip of your fingers. So practice that until you feel really good that you can throw to about the same height with both your dominant hand and non-dominant hands. Once you feel really good about that, we move on to 2 balls. With 2, the big thing here is just a crisscross pattern. So you've gotten so good, you can feel what that sort of height feels like with both hands. And now you've got both balls, and your goal here is just move one hand to the other. So it's boom, 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 boom. Do that until you can do it 40 times in a row. It should be very easy for you to do this. They should be going to the same height, and you should be noticing that you're not traveling or you're not throwing them way out or something so that you have to really reach for something. Once you can do that and you feel really good about that, you move on to 3. And I would say it was a long time ago, so the exact timing this took me, I don't remember, but I think in maybe about an hour, I had 3 down. So each step might take 10, 15 minutes of practice. Once your brain kind of clicks in, it's definitely a very much kind of a riding a bike sort of situation. Although I have not juggled much in the last 10 years. So it's definitely gonna be a challenge to get back into kind of the swing of it, especially at a level where I'll be able to run at the same time. I've never even tried to walk, so this should be interesting. But back to the first step in joggling, learning how to juggle. So now you're on to 3. The first thing you want to do here is you want to put 2 balls in your dominant hand, 1 ball in your non-dominant hand. And your goal here is what they call a flash. It's just throwing every ball once. So with this, I've got these kind of in the tips of my fingers, this deeper down in my hand, this just kind of in the middle of my hand, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. move it back to my dominant, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're ending with 2 in your non-dominant hand. Just keep doing that until I would say you've done at least 10 and you're catching them perfectly. Once you've done 10, move on to throwing in a fourth throw. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you can do 4, you're getting really close. You'll throw in that fifth throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're pretty much juggling. At this point, you just need to work on the reps. This is definitely going to be the pattern I'm using for joggling because it's just ingrained in my brain. But in my later 20s, I started learning a lot of other patterns and tricks and actually made a little video about that. So with those steps done, I'm just practicing juggling, getting it back in my head through a lot of reps. And once I feel good about that again, I'm gonna move on to seeing if these are the best balls for the next step, because these are super breakable. And then from there, see if I can actually move forward while I do it, which I've never tried to do. So the next thing I have to do is figure out what I'm actually going to use to juggle. My current juggling balls are actually these small, soft millet ones that I think would break instantly if I drop them on the ground a few times. They're already like puffing off dust as I throw them up in the air. So looking up what I need, it looks like I need something that's between 120 and 140 grams, low bounce, and made of MMX or rubber. So found these online, and they look quite promising. They're the right color, they're the right size, they're the right weight. So going to give them a shot. And they've arrived. Looking at them initially, they seem really good in terms of durability. They feel good in my hand. I think the ultimate test, though, is just going to be to see what they feel like if I'm actually like moving with them. So off to the roads. All right, first attempt of anything like this. I'm just gonna see if I can walk quickly and juggle at the same time. All right, walking is not too bad. Let's go for a jog.
Push it to the limit. "13 laps. Seems like a lot right now. Whew. Stop, pick it up. Man, this isn't going great. I am not on pace. Come on. This isn't going well. My arms are starting to get tired. Maybe I can just run a little faster. 10:23 pace. Come on. Oh man, I gotta come back. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. I'm certainly getting better, but my pace is still a little slow to break 30. So I'm going to need to drop much less and probably run a little faster, which the running faster, not too bad. Running faster and not dropping, bit of a problem. $9:57 overall, so pace is coming down. I think that needs to be like 9:40 though. So I need to get considerably better over my last mile. Stop dropping! Little more than a lap left. Okay, gonna make up some time. Oh, 06. 30 seconds to go 0.6 of a mile. Or 6/100ths. Woo! I made it. I made it. I think I did it. I think I did it. We will have to see.